Hey Libra, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. It's Romy here. If you have a Libra sun, rising or moon, this September reading may well resonate for you. I use a combination of working with the tarot, connecting to my guides and checking out the astrological influences for the month ahead. So if you enjoy this soul story, please do make sure you drop me a like and a comment and subscribe to the channel. Libra, for those of you with birthdays this September month, then many happy returns, and let's dive right in and see what's coming up for you this month. Okay Libra, let's take a look, see what this soul story is for the month of September. So we're in Virgo energy, which is 12th house for you. So we already know that there's going to be some healing and some closure and release energies that are surfacing for you ahead of welcoming in your own solar returns. And we open up this month with the card of the High Priestess. And I like this for you because I think that one of the things you're going to be doing frequently throughout September is really asking the question, what's true here? What is true for me in this situation? And that questioning is coming from somewhere, you know, much deeper within your own soul center. I don't think you're prepared to just take people's word for things anymore. You're not prepared to just receive information or wild assumptions or, you know, any kind of narrative that isn't based on something that you've either already experienced or it feels like it's really resonating with you at a deeper divine level. And the nice thing that we are welcoming in with this moment in 2020 is it's almost like September acting as this still point, you know. We've been through that first wave of eclipses. We've yet to move into the second act of that. And it's a time when you are really deeply integrating so much of what you've learned. Now, there's a big focus in and around Mars's energy this month as it moves through Aries and your opposite sign, which is in your relationship house. So when this planet goes retrograde, it is going to be bringing up some interesting themes and energies for you to work with. But navigating this with the guide of the High Priestess shows me that you're really understanding what you've learned, and you're looking to make decisions that really elevate you to a new level. You want to vibrate higher. You want to demonstrate your growth, and you want that to be reflected in all of the relationships that are really important in your life. And what I see is that you're actually going to be able to kind of have this really unique vantage point where you are able to look in all directions, you know, and actually see through things to the extent that you can avoid ahead of time where you can see challenge, volatility, or any kind of negative or lower energy. You know, you're going to have that powerful sixth sense, that deep intuitive knowing of where you need to avoid and where the energies are being supportive and are going to help you to move to that next level. Now, she looks incredibly liberated and free within this particular image here. And so I do think that, you know, as we kind of move through that 12th house energy and then step into your solar returns, and also the fact that we're welcoming both Jupiter and Saturn moving direct this month, it's going to feel like a burden's been lifted. And there's some space for which you can start to create, to visualize, and to see more for yourself, okay? I think there is some important information that's going to come to light that's going to demonstrate where you're going to be able to start to see the rewards, you know? It's a little bit of a harvest time for you. And I actually see that there's some real recognition coming. And, you know, how that's received, you know, maybe it's coming just because there's an awareness within you about the way that you've changed, or maybe it's going to come from more of a direct source in terms of your work, or, you know, the influence of something that's happening in and around your relationship. Now, the Nine of Wands energy suggests to me that you actually don't have the time, the inclination, or the energy to focus toward anyone or anything that isn't doing the work, you know? And I know I'm connecting with those Libra energies who have been awakened, who are moving forward on their own unique path and being prepared to kind of be accountable for their energy. And the tolerance level of those situations, energies, environments, anything that's just kind of feeling much denser or heavier just doesn't have a place for you, you know. Now, on the 2nd of the month, we welcome a full moon in the sign of Pisces. It is this charged emotional energy coming into your 6th house of well-being, of service, of the way that you take care of yourself. And again, perhaps that 9 of Wands is going to show you where you are a little bit burnt out, Libra, or where you've been focusing or directing energies towards things that are not really reciprocating, you know, or you're not really finding that there's much progress. And I think that you are going to be making some decisions about what you need to let go of. Now, Mars retrograde doesn't want us to force anything, but if you look at this High Priestess image, you know, she's not forcing, she's surrendering, she's moving in harmony with the rhythm that she's tapping into. You know, her toe is just touching the water, so there's that deep emotional kind of connection that she has going on. So that full moon in Pisces, I think, is going to remind you where your focus should be. Now, there is a little bit of impatient energy around it, and that's, I think, you know, if there are things that you're trying to get over the line or that you're trying to push forward with in September, again, that 9 of Wands is suggesting you're almost there. You know, you've already invested and put a lot of the hard work in, and you need to just have a little bit of patience. You need to allow this still point for things to just settle. And also you just need to make sure that you're going where the energy is flowing, not where it feels stagnant, okay? It's interesting because one of the things that's coming through just as I'm pulling these cards is that there's something about the idea of the cost of decisions, the cost of the direction that you want to move in, and what's on your mind isn't what you think it is. Okay, so we have the Queen of Pentacles coming through here, and I think what I'm looking at is very much, you know, those of you who are trying to come to terms with what the next step is around career, around business, around financial abundance, security. You know, I'm looking at that and I'm feeling that she's very, very focused on her kind of surroundings and the material possessions right now, okay? Now, it may be that some of you are trying to ascertain what is the compromise that I have to make here? What will be the cost of doing this or not doing this? And for some reason, I just want to invite you to go deeper and to question if you arrive at a certain conclusion, Libra, about what the cost is going to be or what you think it's going to be. Can you please just go deeper into your intuitive self? Perhaps meditate on it, journal it out, really think about it, take some quiet time, because I think what's going to be revealed to you is perhaps a slightly different way of looking at something. And that's really intrinsic. And the reason is because I think it's going to perhaps change the course of events in terms of what you do next, or how you come to a decision, or what you're prepared to tolerate or accept, okay? Now, remember I said that, you know, I felt that if this was someone or something that kind of hasn't been showing up or doing the work or really delivering for you in the way that it needed to, and that could be a business, that could be a job, that could be a person, you know, I'm seeing you kind of moving in a different direction. I'm also seeing you here as represented in the Queen of Pentacles with this pillar, this kind of block away again from this energy. And, you know, looking forward, what do you have? You have the riches, you have the abundance, the opportunity, and you have everything kind of at your feet. It's all ready to be harvested. It's ready to be invited in. It's ready to be manifested into something real and something tangible, okay? So take the time to really think about what the cost is, and then if there's actually a different answer that Spirit want you to hear with regards to that. And that's, you know, you really starting to play a different symphony in terms of the way that you're connecting with your body, mind and spirit. And with the 5 of Pentacles coming up, it may well be that you've experienced some loss, you've had some kind of setback or difficult situation, and what we want to do is just remind you to check in that you're not orientating your energy towards a lack-based outlook. Okay, that's important, because what the truth is that this is available to you and coming in towards you. And if you go too back into the energy of whatever feels tedious, whatever feels like there's just no spark there, there's no connection into your heart, there's no soul, there's no life. That's going to just pull you down. And I feel like you've learned a really valuable lesson, Libra, in the last few weeks and months with regards to the type of things that really represent a toxic environment, a toxic relationship, or, you know, something that just has the capacity to kind of really derail you. Now, Mercury moves into your sign on the 5th of the month, and we see this as being a really beautiful, supportive energy for you to communicate exactly what it is that you need, what your needs are in any given situation. That's going to work really favorably for those of you that are trying to go for promotions, trying to get new work, trying to launch anything. Also trying to have those really important conversations with partners, with spouses. And remember, like we said, when Mars goes retrograde, it can kind of make things feel all a little bit challenging in that particular area, and as it affects that 7th house for you, it's going to be important that you are communicating really clearly what it is that you're expecting, what it is that you're looking for. Now, on the plus side, Venus moves into Leo on the 6th, which is in your 11th house of friendships, of groups, and I feel that that's going to give a beautiful boost for you in terms of just getting out there. And there's something about really nice recognition coming in for you at that time as well. So, you know, what you're being asked to do is not to focus on the things that haven't evolved or turned up or manifested in the way that you expected or in the timeline that you anticipated, but rather like link in and surrender into where the flow is. And what you're set to see is, you know, a real raise of your frequency, and then a very quick series of events that are going to start to demonstrate to you just how backed up a lot of the good things have been. You know, when Jupiter and Saturn were retrograde, it's almost like there's a lot of stuff that's been piled up at the gates and it's just waiting to flow in, okay? I think that the way that you are being invited to work with the energy, to harness the energy, is to be absolutely, I want to say almost obsessive with your thought forms, the way that you are telling yourself the story of what is unfolding in your life at this moment. Now, the devil, of course, can represent where you're just feeling that sense of restriction, okay, and maybe for some of you it is in and around your security right now, okay. However, what I'm really being told is that this is about you recognizing that when you get absolutely single and really bloody minded about what it is that you want, and all you do is focus in the direction of that, you're going to speed up that process and you're going to ignite a fire within you that's really going to bring it to your door much more quickly than you expected. Because here's the other flip side of what Mars retrograde can do. Where the energy is already flowing, it can bring in that kind of vibe of almost catching the wave, and it'll take you right into shore and right to the very thing that you want. The desire will be ignited. You've already done so much of that pre-paving work around it, and that's going to be really important. Now, sometimes, you know, with regards to relationships and the retrograde shadow energies, with Mars, it can kind of dim down our sense of physicality, that sexuality that we want to bring in. So, you know, for some of you, you might be finding that you or your partner is kind of really feeling like you lost your mojo a little bit through September. But again, you're being invited to just focus on your own energy centers. What can you do to fire up that sacral chakra? You know, that's the seed of all of your creative energy, all of your sexual energy. And I think that with some focus and the decision that you need to figure out what your medicine is, you know. So if you're already feeling in that kind of lower vibe, and then you're spending time and energy around people who don't have anything positive to say, or aren't doing the work, or aren't evolving, you're just going to find it like harder to get going, right? What I'm seeing is that as we move into the second half of this month, there are some really supportive, beautiful energies coming in to lift you up and out of this. Now, the Eight of Swords is coming through, and interesting, this came up for Virgo in their reading as well, and I'm kind of getting the same vibe for it in this particular deck, because actually what I see is that, you know, the figure here, she's just looking for some peace, and that these swords are actually representing this kind of spiritual armor, if you like, that she needs right now to surround herself with, to protect her from whatever is represented or coming or being projected from the devil, from the five. Now, maybe this is a person, or maybe it's simply, you know, a series of thought forms or a situation that just has you feeling really restricted. But you know, even when I see this star, like the kind of star, the light that's coming in on the blindfold here, I feel, and I'm linking you into your high priestess energy, I think that you know that you're past this, that this is very 3D old ego energy, and that you've already moved beyond it, and that there's nothing really here that you can learn from at this point that you haven't already been around a cycle of. And so it's asking, really, what is it that you value right now the most? You know, in September, you're being asked, what do you value? And if you value more abundance, if you value more opportunity, if you value more expansion, if you value taking care of yourself in a way that demonstrates everything that you've been through and how you've learned about yourself and the things that you want to change, then I think taking this time out and this step back to have that deep exhale moment is really going to deliver something powerful and potent for you in terms of, you know, reward. Now, that might not be the physical manifestation just yet, but it's certainly delivering in something that's going to awaken your senses and make you feel more alive. So the Knight of Cups is, for me, either going to be representative of a new energy, new connection coming in. For some of you, yes, it absolutely could be in and around the romantic aspect of your life. But really what I'm seeing is it's just that influx of energy that's going to pull you up and out of anything that's trying to keep you held back. You know, the horse is rearing up because it's just saying there's somewhere to go. We have somewhere to go, and the time is now. You know, this knight is absolutely focused. He's on a quest, and he knows where he's going, and he knows why he's going there. And that's the energy that he's bringing to you in this month of September. There's also a lightness of energy that's coming through with this. And what I really like is that the horse is actually draped in orange. Now, that's linking directly into your sacral chakra. You know, so that colour is bringing vitality. It's bringing a burst of energy for you. Now, of course, there's an emotional aspect to this, okay? We're kind of disrupting the stillness of this pond here as we charge through. So it may well be that you are going to be experiencing your emotions getting churned up a bit by the arrival of this. But I don't want you to see that as negative, because actually I think that the change or the offer or the flow of whatever's coming in towards you is necessary and actually going to be incredibly helpful. Now, yes, it could be a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And if it is with regards to new relationships coming in, because I think this is going to be quite a front and center stage unfolding of energy for many Libras before the end of the year, then we are also looking at somebody that has that desire and that passion and really wants to demonstrate the way that they feel towards you. Now, there's an unlocking of a creative vision that I also think is only going to be possible because, again, you gave yourself some space and time to actually figure out the direction with which you want to move towards and how to do that. I think you've learned so many tools, Libra, and sometimes it can get almost a bit overwhelming knowing when am I supposed to deploy this and how am I supposed to use this in any given situation. Or you find yourself bumping up against experiences that trigger you, and then, you know, after the event you think, why didn't I use this or deploy that? And so there's like almost this kind of reflective time when spirit and your guides are sort of bringing everything back to you, because the Queen of Pentacles, like, she's really drawing on all of that wisdom, linking into the Virgo earth magic to kind of create this really powerful balance of heart and mind, you know, and you have that incredible elemental air energy that allows you to think quickly and to change direction and to sort of move with purpose. And I think that as you balance that out with everything that you've learned and almost sort of create a whole new strategy for yourself in terms of moving forward, that's going to be something that you're never going to let go of. You know, it's almost like you've brought this whole new way of being into existence in September, and it has a really powerful foundation for me when I'm feeling into it for you. So that means the way that you respond to relationship situations, the way that you respond to going after your own goals, the way that you respond to your self-care, your spirituality, your growth, all aspects of your life is almost having this kind of makeover quality coming in. The Nine of Cups here is bringing this desire, it's bringing this emotional expression of energy. Now, this might be coming from you towards someone else, or I feel for many of you, someone has something to say and needs to present it to you and needs to do it quickly. And perhaps that's because they feel they're running out of time, or that you're moving on, or they're already sense that you're moving on. And, you know, that might not all be romantic. This could be, you know, somebody connected into your work, you know, a boss or somebody who's just aware that there's a shift in your energy, Libra, and they don't want to let you go. They have something else that they feel they can offer you. Now here we have the Knight of Wands, so linking into fire energy. So interesting that we've got two knights coming forth here, which for me does suggest that there is a lot of change that is going to unfold through this month of September in terms of a direction for you, okay? Now, interestingly, we've got a volcano erupting in the background and the lava is flowing down towards this knight. It hasn't touched him yet, though. So I have a sense that you're also aware that something's brewing in and around some aspects of your life, and you're actually kind of wanting to make sure that you can avoid and move away from any chaos, any conflict. I just don't think that's something that you're interested in taking on right now. And, you know, even though that Knight of Wands can have a fiery energy and sort of want to act quite impulsively, I'm actually seeing him looking in the opposite direction to the volcano. So I'm really feeling into this being you, and you being quite decisive and quite heart-led in terms of knowing what's right for you, okay? Again, we've got a lot of orange and red coming through here, so it very much is linking into that root chakra, that sacral chakra. So I would be working strongly with those energy centers all the way through September, Libra, and that really activates that cardinal aspect of your sign so beautifully. Now, if you are looking in and around your business at launching anything, at taking your message, taking your product, taking your service and trying to expand the reach of it, I really like the energy of what's coming in here at the bottom for you. But I am going to suggest to you that perhaps you need to take some time to review the right approach, because I think you've lived and learned somewhere. I genuinely do. I think there's perhaps been some hard disappointments or setbacks that you may well have experienced, and now's a time to do it differently. But remember, you know, the energy that comes in here from the Queen is just showing you that there's a state of grace and a quiet certainty that you can deploy here that is really going to support you in that vision. And when I look to the cherry blossom that are, you know, kind of showing behind her, there's a couple of things comes through for me here. First of all, I think that there's a fruition time coming in over the next 6 months. So as we come into that springtime of next year, when the cherry blossoms come out in the northern hemisphere, I think that a lot of the work that you're doing in the area of the self, of your relationships, and particularly in and around how you're expanding your security, your abundance, is really gonna take off at that time, I think in quite an unexpected way for many of you, actually. I also just get a link into Japan that might be relevant for some of you, and not necessarily that you're going to have a direct connection or, you know, business initiative or opportunity, but perhaps there's something to learn about the way something is done, because what I'm also seeing is the need for streamlining, the need for synergy, the need for kind of detoxification, clearing out, feng shui, you know, all of that kind of like clearing energy just seems very, very important. And when we're in 12th house and we're just trying to allow the surrender and release of so much of the kind of deeper, denser things we've been dealing with, it is important that we acknowledge that we have to create that new space for new things to be birthed. And even if we look at the symbolism of that volcano coming through, it's like something needs to erupt, like the landscape will forever be changed after that eruption. So there are changes that are notwithstanding kind of what's going on in the wider collective, but just for you personally right now, that you really need to pay attention to. Now, if you are in situations where there are perhaps two different options, two different people you're considering, because I'm kind of getting the sense of the Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands also bringing something quite different to the table for you, okay? And I guess you're being invited as well to kind of take a moment to just really think about what's going to serve me not just today, but in the long run. And I think that's also going to influence any decisions or choices that you may or not, may not have to make in this month, but certainly over the next few weeks. Because something could look really attractive to you in the here and now, where you have perhaps more of a mindset of needing some instant gratification in a certain area, because either you're looking to see a quick fix in and around your money, you're looking for a quick hit of emotional kind of attention or love or energy, or you're looking for kind of an impact on your health and well-being. But I think there's something here about being diligent and understanding that when Saturn moves direct, we're supposed to integrate all of the learning from that backspin that he's been doing the last few months and really apply that in a very methodical way that sees something more lasting and the foundation changing, so that we're building on something and making a legacy for ourselves that feels really good. It's not just that kind of quick fix. So I would invite you to kind of again look at it from that perspective and see how that plays out for you. So let's just take a look at some oracle cards and see how these reflect your main reading. Okay, card of divine matrix. And I think that your high priestess is really helping you to understand what the next level is on your soul journey. And what's happening is there's an awakening so that you can start to embody. It's like soul embodiment, it's this really deep understanding of what is at play here, how the universe works, how energies work. And your orientation in terms of your focus is everything. It's everything. And remember, I talked to you about this kind of feeling of this X-ray vision coming in, and it's almost like you're starting to see, the layers of energy, and you're seeing everything that's hidden between the lines, and you're seeing through people, through situations, through anything that is trying to project or appear to be something that they are not. And so this divine matrix is then inviting you to understand how you can more readily work the energy, harvest the energy, use it to your advantage. Yeah, really beautiful. There's a lot of bloom coming in with the flowers around this, and all of the stars and the energy and the light that's coming from it. And you can actually see there's a face here, and it's almost like connected and coming down into the crown chakra here. So really divine wisdom that's available to you when you're taking the time to move into that new 5D frequency rather than stepping backwards into this. Okay, so your crystal card is Dalmatian stone, a really beautiful earthy energy. But do you know what I also get with this is there's a playfulness that's being brought in for this month for you. And actually I kind of want to draw this back also to the Knight of Cups, because I'm seeing an otter here, and for me they're so playful. And so there's something about you needing to remember that in amongst doing the work, in amongst trying to figure things out and giving yourself space to breathe and applying all of these lessons and doing the spiritual work. You're just going to need, you know, a little bit of downtime, a little bit of you time, and however that's represented to you, whatever feels good. And I think as soon as Jupiter moves direct, we've got a beautiful sun trining Pluto and Sun trining Jupiter placement this month. So there's a little bit of luck coming in. So I think even if you're feeling like I don't have time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the wherewithal to kind of bring that sort of a vibe in, I think you might be surprised. The universe wants you to have that in September, Libra. I think you need it as a respite from perhaps some of the heavier stuff that's been going on, okay? So see how you can tap into that beautiful, playful inner child energy. But it's also very grounding, that Dalmatian stone. And again, that's going to work well, excuse me, in Virgo season to help give you that earth medicine and understand where you're going to derive that from, you know. Lalita Shapura Sundari. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. This is a beautiful yogic oracle deck. And forgive me because I've just not had time to really go into this in any great detail, but I so wanted to present it to you in this particular September readings. So, you know, I think for some of you, this is really going to represent that time of divinity when you take the moment to connect into something greater, to connect into your deities, to your guides, to whatever the practice is that helps you to feel whole and connected. It's so important. And I think as I look at this kind of sacred geometry that surrounds the statue here, it's very much linking in again to that divine matrix energy that I'm picking up here as well. So, you know, you're being almost initiated in, you're being initiated into this next level of understanding, okay? And I think it's important that you take some time to ritualize that in your life in any way that feels meaningful for you, you know? So just taking the time to connect, you know, whether it's, you know, through a yoga practice or through just working with the moon energies or in your yoga, it doesn't matter how you do it. It's about what it represents to you and what it can help you with as you navigate your way through this season. Okay, so I hope that's just given you a little bit of insight into what I'm picking up for you in the general for this next month, Libra. Of course, we're going to be welcoming in your solar returns on the 22nd. Now, this is a general reading. I'm going to go ahead and pull us some cards for the extended version. So we speak for about another 25 minutes there, and you'll also receive a soul guide to help you with some of the themes. So what I'm going to do is just invite you to think about a question that may not have been answered in this general spread. And I'm just going to pull a couple of cards for us around that just now. Okay, you can find a link for the extended reading in the description box or the comment section underneath the reading. And if you have enjoyed this, please do drop me a like or comment. Let me know how it plays out for you. And remember, if you're watching this, you know, just as I post it at the end of August, revisit the reading, you know, throughout the month of September, because sometimes these messages take time to unfold for people in a different way. So High Priestess bringing in another very spiritual energy with the Hanged Man here. Again, this word surrender and also serenity coming through, which I love for you. I think you need this peace. You need to feel that this month isn't going to cause any more chaos around you. Knight of Pentacles as well. Just slow, steady progress, committing. And, you know, just keeping your eyes on the prize is so important for you this month. Now, Nine of Wands is coming in with the Emperor energy here. Could be an Aries or Capricorn. With that cardinal energy, but again, I'm just kind of feeling that that's where I've got this heavy, dense kind of quality coming through. We'll explore that more in the extended, moon energy. I'm not sure I'm really vibing with it, so if this is a person or a situation, I feel like you're just trying to steer clear of it, if I'm honest. So Queen of Pentacles bringing in that King of Cups. I feel this is like your meditation teacher, like your guru, like your, you know, spiritual advisor almost. It's just like the person that's just kind of helping to keep you on track, this King of Cups. Could be like a really good friend or just somebody who's a confidant or you know, that trusted advisor role is so important this month for you. But we have Two of Cups, so yeah, there may be a romantic connection as well. We'll explore that a little bit more in the extended. Star, beautiful. You have a choice, you know, where you want to place yourself this month, and I think it's fairly clear what's going to be helpful and supportive for you. So Knight of Swords coming in here. Definitely in a hurry. My goodness, wanting to escape. Now maybe this is you to a certain degree. You're maybe just trying to escape from a situation, or, you know, move into that fantasy world because actually something in your physical reality is really difficult or challenging right now. Yeah, real burden around that. Okay. We'll work through what the advice is if this is your experience, okay? The Devil bringing in 3 of Wands. Chariot energy, okay. Empress, nice. Knight of Cups and the Fool. There is this really playful adventure-like quality that I'm picking up with these 2 cards together, actually. So, you know, I think your guides want you to sort of find that, you know, to access that. And they're either going to bring it in by way of a person, because you need to break free from anything that just feels a little bit too restrictive right now, you know. Maybe you just need to change something up, you know. It's like a complete change of a routine. Okay. You know, regardless of any kind of, you know, challenging conflict or that volatility where the volcano is just looming in the background here, you've already been through so many twists and turns on your path. You know, you're kind of battle ready in a way, you know. I just see you being victorious and managing to move through this. Knight of Cups again. I think honestly some of you may well be manifesting in your absolute kind of dream, you know, ... Is it your dream man or woman? Is it your dream business, your dream idea? Because you're just, something's landing and you're figuring something out that you've understood but never been able to apply properly. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, Libra. I look forward to continuing this narrative if you're joining me for the extended. Otherwise, I wish you beautiful blessings for this month ahead. Take good care.